Hi, I'm Miss Olivia, and today we will make a crystal garden. We will also talk about some crystals and take a closer look at them. Okay, you'll need ammonia, a bluing agent, table salt or kosher salt, some food coloring to make your crystals different colors, and some sponges. I cut these off of a big sponge. This is a car sponge, or a sponge to wash cars with. You don't want to use a dish sponge or one you use in the kitchen because it sometimes has chemicals that won't allow your crystals to grow. Okay, so we'll want to do equal parts of ammonia and bluing agent. So I'll do half a cup of that. Okay, and half a cup of the bluing agent. And we're going to mix that together. Okay, you'll need containers to put your sponge in and your ingredients for the garden. I'm just going to put a little bit in there. Okay, put your sponges in. Okay, take the spoon to coat them all. Okay, that one is fully coated. Okay. All right. Now you'll want to sprinkle some salt on top of the surface of the sponge. So I'm just going to put some in my hand here, like so. And I think it's best if you do a thin layer of salt. You could do a thick layer and see what happens. Now that you've added your salt, you could add some color. So on this one, I'm going to put a few little pink drops on this sponge. And we'll put a few little green drops, and you just want to drop it on the sponge, not on the side of the sponge, just a few drops on the sponge itself. Go with blue. And purple. Okay. Now, it usually takes 24 hours for the salt crystals to start growing, or for your crystal garden to start growing. So we're just going to leave them alone, and we'll take a look in 24 hours and see how our crystal garden is growing. Okay, well, it looks like I mixed more ammonia and bluing agent than I really needed. So instead of wasting it, let's see what happens if we make a huge crystal garden or use a huge container. So I'm going to add some there. And you'll see that the blue color changes into an orange or brown sometimes, and that's okay. Let's see. We can mix it around there. Ooh, be careful for spills. Okay, let's see what happens here. Okay, we'll see what happens with this one. One of the simplest crystals to grow is halite, which is the official name for common table salt. Halite is made up of sodium and chlorine atoms bonded together in cube-shaped crystals. Let's take a closer look at these salt crystals so we could actually see the cubed shape. Here's a closer look of the beginning of our crystal garden. And this is an even closer look of our crystal garden. Do you see our salt crystals? Crystals are always solid, never liquid or gas. Almost all crystals are minerals. Mineral crystals all grow from countless tiny building blocks called unit cells. Every unit cell of a mineral is an identical arrangement of atoms, and it is the way that these identical cells combine that gives the crystal its shape. Crystals can be shaped like cubes, diamonds, bricks, pyramids, six-sided bars, books, and even needles. Salt crystals always have a cube shape. They are in the crystal system called cubic. Here are some quartz crystals. This is pyrite, also known as fool's gold. Crystals need space to grow, so they are often found in cavities known as geodes. Geodes can look like dull round stones on the outside, but inside they reveal crystals that have grown over time under the right circumstances. Take a look at that geode. You could see tiny crystals growing on this granite rock. This is black obsidian. Although shiny and beautiful like a crystal, it is actually volcanic glass. This barite crystal has a very unique shape. When you're doing a science experiment, it's a good idea to draw your observations. This is on day 2 of our Grow a Crystal Garden experiment. We are on day 3 of the Growing Our Crystal Garden experiment. Now, if you look at our little jars here, it doesn't look like much happened. So we'll have to experiment a different time and maybe add more salt, or maybe mix our chemicals a little bit differently, or maybe even use a different container. We'll just have to try it out another time. On this big one, what I didn't have very many expectations of, actually came out beautifully. I'll give you a closer look in a moment. Here's a closer look at our crystal garden. Lucky for you, you don't have to go and find those chemicals and mix them. You could go to your local dollar store and they have little crystal trees that you can make. It already has the chemicals there. You just add water and put that together, and you could grow a nice little crystal tree and make a little crystal garden. Thank you for joining me for this segment of our summer reading program, STREAM program, of growing your own crystal garden and looking at crystals. You can see on the side of the jars, those little white things are actually little crystal formations. Hi everybody. So it has been 5 days since we started our Grow a Crystal Garden experiment, and I'm happy with the results. I'll give you a closer look in a moment. I hope that you all enjoyed this experiment. If you do this experiment on your own, please have an adult assist you, especially with mixing the chemicals. Be sure to draw out your observations and write out a couple of sentences about what you see in your experiment. I'll give you a closer look. It's really cool. I hope you all join the summer reading program. And if you would like to learn more about atomic structures of crystals, crystal symmetry, crystal systems, and crystal habits, please check out books at your local library, and also you could check out ebooks through our e-resources. Thank you.